Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Football Analytics and Rant Show. And it's been a long time since we put out our previous episode. And obviously the European football season has come to an end. 3 finals got over. We even got to see a farewell to one of the most legendary players in Indian football history. And also we are also now looking forward to the European Championships coming in about 5-6 days from the time of recording we are doing right now, and also the Copa America subsequently, which is actually going to be a grander event like the 2016 one with teams in it's going to happen in US and around 16 teams there. So we'll not go much into that. We'll just have a roundup of what all happened over the past weeks, and we'll go focus a little more deep into the Indian football legend that we were talking about for the Indian football fans out there. So coming into the European finals. So we got the Europa League final, the Conference League final, and we got finally the Champions League final. So we'll start with the Europa League final. I think everyone expected, most of around 90% of the people expected Leverkusen to win the title and complete the unbeaten treble. I mean, they almost came there, but then certain guy I honestly, I'm sorry, I forgot his exactly name. So he scored a hat trick, okay, and I'm not able to pronounce the name, so I don't want to mess it up. So I'm telling. So a forward from Atlanta, he scored a hat trick. He was missing the whole season. He was not that impactful like that. It's what you say, Gareth Bale's performance or something. You remember Gareth Bale, you don't know what he's doing whole season. Suddenly he'll show up in crucial games or in the final and he'll just score 2-3 goals and he'll win the game. Yeah, Lookman. I think he used to play in the PL if I'm not wrong. I don't know which club. I think some big club used to have him, then they dropped him. Yeah, so he was actually struggling for game time before that game, and what a game to announce yourself, and what a team and also all credit to Gasperini. That was the first time you saw a team actually put consistent pressure on the Leverkusen defense, winning all the second balls. I think if you look at all the goals, all the chances created there, it was mostly the second balls. They're ready to pounce. One person will press. The moment Leverkusen takes a heavy touch, the second guy will just snatch the ball and go. And obviously, all credit to Lookman for the goals. Some of them were brilliant goals, and this time no comeback for Leverkusen. It was too late. Then they scored the third goal itself. I think it was done. I mean, I won't blame them. Having such a season itself is a difficult task, and going unbeaten, as we talked earlier, it would be a one of a kind experience. You won't get to see it again, and sadly they fell short. Still not a bad season in any way. They can look up high. I don't think any of the fans will be sad with this performance, because they did still manage to complete the season with a domestic double and with just one loss whole season. I think only Real Madrid have that similar record, I think. And so coming to the next game, the Conference League. Again, another game in which the favourites lost. 2-time finalists right now, Fiorentina. Last time again, they were lucky. I think they lost to West Ham. And this time against Olympiacos. And finally, after so long, a team outside the European top 5 leagues has finally won the European competition, which is a good thing to see, and a good thing for probably Greek football. Olympiacos being one of the biggest clubs in Greek football. I think the last time team won was maybe 10-15 years ago. I don't know if it was Galatasaray or Shakhtar Donetsk, either of these. I think it is Shakhtar. They won the Europa League. I don't know exactly which year, long back. So you can Google it up if you want. So it's been such a long time, and it was mostly looking. If you look at it was basically being a monopoly between the Spanish teams and the English teams. Nobody else could even try to touch. And in between, even for German and French teams, it was difficult. Eintracht Frankfurt was probably the only German team in the last 10-12 years to win the Europa League. It was either mostly Spanish, I'd say Sevilla or Villarreal. or in England mostly Chelsea, Liverpool, like any of those teams will only win most of the time. So yeah, okay, sorry, not Liverpool, United. Don't get upset on United fans. United. So yeah, so good game. Like they defended nicely. I mean, obviously, Fiorentina had more share of the possession. They distributed the ball nicely. We just couldn't find the finish. And Olympiacos, like once they scored the goal, like they were tight on defense and they held on to the last minute. And all credits to them. I think they'll be playing, like at least they'll get an automatic slot in the next year's Europa League, I think, and they might, I think, get a Champions League like in the playoff round. And this time, I think, because there's a lot of teams, I think they might have a chance. So the next, if you all know, next season is going to be completely different. Like there's new format for all three divisions, like from the Champions League to the Europa League to the Conference League, will be completely different. And you'll see like much more number of teams. You'll see weird as results. Like we'll not go into that. If you want us to make a video on the new Champions League format, do let us know. We'll look up to it and we'll give you a detailed video. So coming to the UCL final, so the grandest football event, probably, okay, you may think the Copa America and Europe, but yeah, in the club football calendar, the biggest game, and a team I think we would have expected, and a team unlikely, like nobody expected to reach. And the match didn't disappoint. It never felt like a boring match at any point. I think Dortmund first half was like completely Dortmund. Like they poured the pressure onto Real, kept on piling, gave everything, and just you lose about time that the lack of a out and out striker or a good striker in the team was going to affect. I mean, Fulkrug did his job, but against I'm telling you, against a top team he can do probably, but against the elite teams, like there are teams that are beyond top, like a few 2-3 teams. So against those teams, that skill set is not enough. You need to give a little more extra, and I think they were not able to do it. Obviously they all played. Sancho had a good game. I think like most of their Julian Brandt again brilliant. I don't know why they chucked him out of the Euro squad. Very surprising. Him and Hummels also. Hummels, I think Hummels won the best defender award or something in I think, and he has the most man of the match awards. If Dortmund would have won, I think he would have won the player of the season in UCL instead of Vinicius. So yeah, coming to the game, the second half, very very again, like against Bayern also, like against the run of play, Real Madrid find a goal, and after that I think Dortmund lost it. Like again, it comes to that mentality, that elite mentality and top mentality, the difference. They just couldn't keep up. They started losing hope, and after that they played like a mess, and it was just Real coming and attacking. I think if you look at the overall stats, both teams have like 14 shots each or something, and 4 or 5 on target each, but most of the chances like Real got are from the second half and after they scored the goal, and most of the chances Dortmund got is in the first half. And as soon as you score the first goal, you knew the second goal was coming. That's how Dortmund were playing, and I can't like blame them. Like for them, like reaching here itself is a big achievement. I mean, if you look at financially also, I think they've by losing the game, they've actually earned more money than winning the game technically. Let's not go into that. I mean, I'm not want to offend any Dortmund fans. I mean, all of us actually like wanted like some different story, okay, some different club to win, not the usual suspects. And then it happened. Like I mean, even Real fans don't find it what do you call that? Like special anymore. Like just they win so often that it's okay. And again, Real won it. Like, do you see? Actually, do you even see any Real fan like over celebrating? That's how casually they like keep winning the competition, and it's scary. And a few days later, they announced Mbappe. They won UCL without Bellingham. Now they won it with Bellingham. Now they have Mbappe also. I know, but to be fair, Bellingham was not the best player in the UCL campaign. I don't know what you say. He might have played well in La Liga, but he was absent in the semi-final. He was absent against City. Even in the final, I never saw him. The players that stepped up was Vinicius. Okay, you might have against his attitude or something. We might have differing opinions. Like, a lot of people won't like him. I personally don't like his attitude, but as a player, he did perform very well. His stats are like absurd. I think he was like overall top scorer and top assister for Real Madrid. I think UCLA, I think he got like 5 or 6 goals if I'm not wrong. And most of those goals came in like big games. It's not like group stage pile up. All came in big games, the semi-finals, quarter, final, like that. Him and Rodrigo, they're super sub. And as always, they're aging midfield, like people like I don't even want to call them aging. Like that's offensive from our part. Like they don't seem to play like that. I mean, Modric coming as a sub and immediately changing games. Like I don't know. So that's enough of like praise for Real Madrid. They are a good team, and with the team they built, I'm pretty sure they will be able to defend it. Like probably City will be the biggest challenge, obviously again. And I still don't understand why these bookies and all are like, I don't know, because most of them are English fucks. They're not they're giving Man City like most chance. Damn, they just signed Mbappe, dude. What the do you see that attack? I know Cruz is going to not be there, but they have like 2-3 players in the same position left. They are stacked in midfield. They're not like they won't be like as top level as, but they are decent enough. They can manage. So yeah, and now they have Mbappe also. So it will be interesting in the UCL next year. Mbappe and Haaland going phase 2 of like the so-called this thing. To me personally, I guess Haaland has not been that impressive, although he won the Golden Boot. Like he's been the least impressive player for City. And again, even their league campaign, I will definitely give credit to the gingerhead guy. I think him coming back from injury and changing the game, like turning around the season for City. Like given the amount of points they dropped, they came back. They were on a rough patch, if you have noticed. Like when he was out, De Bruyne was not playing. And also even to extent, like people thought when Haaland was not there, Alvarez did try to cover up a lot, like he did, but certain games he also went missing. Probably I think that sums up their season, like according to their standards, maybe, like considering how well they played, dominated last year, probably you would have expected more than just winning the league. Like I mean, you saw them how they played against United. I don't know, it looked like they are a bunch of hangover kids playing after winning the title and first half. And yeah, let's not go into the FA Cup final. You can go watch that. Like it's been a long time since that, so I'm not covering that game much. So finally, hopefully I kept this short. I don't know, I've not kept track. So we'll go into the Indian football. So as you all know, one of the greatest footballers in India, one of the greatest footballers in Asia, Sunil Chhetri has announced his retirement, and he played his last game against Kuwait. And we'll come to the game later, and we'll just look back into how him as a player has influenced the Indian football, the revival of Indian football from like the dead era between like early 2000s to 2014, that time. So Sunil Chhetri, I think he played his first match in 2004 or 5 against Pakistan, if I'm not wrong. And the first match itself, I think he got his first goal. So he's been like consistent. I know you would say like he played against lower rank opposition, but I mean he's playing for a team like India. And among his teammates, he was obviously an outlier. I mean, at a young age, like his talent and work rate was so good, like he got opportunities to go out. He actually played for Sporting Lisbon's like B team. He went to USML, played in the MLS for Kansas City 2-3 games, like, and he actually got to play for, I think, third division English side, like what do you call that league? League One. Okay, not the League One, it's League One in the EFL. So I forgot the team's name. If you want, like you can check his interview. He talked about. So what happened there was, there's a rule in like England to get work permit, like for a footballer. So you have to play 50 games for your national team. So that was sorted for him. Because he started his career so early, he already played 50 games for his national team. And the second criteria was getting selected in the trials. He got selected in the trials. The only thing left to get a work permit was the national team's ranking. It should be under 70. So that is where us as a country and us as a footballing federation has let that guy down. And because like everything was sorted, even his there was people to financially support him, everything was sorted, and because India were ranked 170, it's not even remotely close, and the rules were so strict that time, he was unable. Probably if he would have got a chance to play in like a European league, nonetheless, let it be, it is definitely a higher level than most of the Asian leagues, or definitely higher level than the I-League at that time to play. So if one person paves the way, they would look more into, okay, there must be good Indian players, we'll put scouts here, we'll take players, it might be worth the investment. You could have happened, could have not. So that could have been, but then he eventually went to MLS. Then again he came back, he joined Mohun Bagan. He shifted between Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, then JCT or something. So few teams he changed in the I-League. Then the ISL came around that time, 2013. He a team called Bengaluru FC. So a team like visionary team. They wanted like to build up a state-of-the-art academy, go on represent India in continental competitions, totally revolutionize the coaching and recruitment strategies. So a team was started by like this thing, Jindal Co, I think so. So I think the guy, his name is Path Jindal. He was the son of this thing. So they started the team. So it was called JSW Bengaluru FC in 2013, and it was like, let's say I would consider it was the first professional team in India, and they actually made some very proper team signings. Since their inception till 2018, I think every year they won a trophy. So that's how good the team was, and Sunil Chhetri played an integral part. And so if you say like the biggest moment in his career, what is there? Obviously the 2011 AFC Challenge Cup. So AFC Challenge Cup is basically a second tier international competition for Asian teams. Basically it served as a qualifier for the 2011 Asian Cup. So India actually went on to win that tournament, mainly due to the efforts from Baisung Bhutia and Sunil Chhetri. And after like maybe like 30-40 years or something, they managed to play in the Asian Cup in 2011. So because as courtesy of winning the Challenge Cup, the performance was, let's say, leave that shit. But one bright spot again in that Asian Cup was Sunil Chhetri again scored 2 goals against Australia and against South Korea. So again he was that, that bright patch in the team. So he again stood out. So after that, probably the biggest moment, I'd say the biggest moment in Indian club football and biggest in recent history that you could remember. I don't know how many of you remember in 2015-16 season, or 2016, let's say precise, Bengaluru FC managed to reach the AFC Cup final. So this was a time in which Indian clubs were like atrocious. Like most of the time they just grouped, and before like only 2 times that India have reached the semi-final itself. So those were miracle runs and they got thrashed. This is the first time they played beautiful football. They managed to beat the defending champions on the way to reach the final. So that was like probably the biggest thing, and for me that actually got me interested more to know about Asian football, got to know more about the I-League. I used to watch ISL at that time. I-League, I just knew, that's all. Like I never used to watch that many games, but that performance like tempted me to watch the I-League and follow more on Bengaluru FC. So more onto that. So that he was again part of that. He was leader of all these important achievements. And again, when you come back to 2019 Asian Cup, so again India were looking for a consecutive qualification, which they haven't done before. Since the inaugural 2 Asian Cups, they haven't done before. So that was a big achievement, like qualifying in the Asian Cup. And if you don't know, like qualifying consistently for the Asian Cup is actually a precursor to probably reaching the final round of the World Cup qualifiers and eventually qualifying for the World Cup. So that is what like most of the coaches that come to India, everyone is saying like that. So he played an integral part. I was actually surprised. I thought India will choke in the last minute given the nature of this team. Because how low we were ranked, 170 or something, but somehow we managed to do it, and we actually gave a good performance. We managed to get our first win in the Asian Cup against Thailand. And Thailand, even though they were lower ranked, they're not a bad team. They were a team that consistently reached the final round of the World Cup qualifiers. So they were not a bad team. And against UAE we played well, and we made a stupid move playing against Bahrain in the last game for a draw. and we ended up choking the game and obviously went out. And the Thailand we beat in the first game, they actually made it to the next round. So leave that shit. So that was actually a good display. So this setup pace, okay, people started interesting. So at that time, finally, India started hovering between this 95 and 110 rank. So that consistently, we are not bad, but we are not just able to crack into the best in the Asia. So we had like good games. We had a draw against China. We had draws against Qatar. We played very well against Oman. Like big teams. So then there was a chance. Okay, we had a chance of actually making to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers before this current one. Again, I don't know what is this ego match, this thing or something, or India again choked. Like the good teams, they somehow managed to get a draw or something. Against like shitty teams, they managed to draw again also. So they're not able to get wins. It's just draw. And eventually, they again qualified for Asian Cup. He was also like integral part of that. Actually, in the Asian qualifier final round, he actually scored most of the goals. Only like this. Imagine how good you might be. Like they're not able to find a apt replacement for you, even if you're like at 39 for a 39-year-old guy. So kudos to his fitness, his dedication to the national team. Most of us have like controversial, as a Kerala Blasters fan, I had controversial opinions of him regarding in the domestic team, but as a captain of the national team, and I appreciate what he has done for the team. And so that is a summary. And recently, like, we crashed out of the Asian Cup, lost all 3 games, but then I won't say decent account of ourselves. Probably against Australia we played decently, but then after those games we could have won those games and we choked badly. And coming to this one, this was a crucial game against Kuwait. If we would have won that game, it would have almost guaranteed us place in the next round, 100%. But in home also, in front of a packed Salt Lake Stadium, how many of you, I don't know, have been asking to keep a match in either Kerala or Kolkata, so that a lot of fans can come to attend? It happened in Kolkata, but still you are not able to find that finishing edge. Probably would not have been the ideal finishing scenario for sending him off. Probably, if you would have won and made it to the 3rd round of World Cup qualifiers, it would have been a very good sent off and a very positive note for the next generation to take over. We are not still out. We still have to beat Qatar without Chhetri again. I don't know how we are going to do that. On the flip side, Bangladesh managed to draw against Qatar, so it is possible. And if we draw against Qatar and the other game finishes in a draw, we'll make it through. But if either Bangladesh or Kuwait win, we'll go out. And if Bangladesh managed to win, that's a shame on our whole association. Extreme shame. We started a league long back, and let's not go into that rant, Indian football. Let's not go into that. And hopefully there's a new start. To think of it, I think he chose to retire early because he wanted a new string of people to come, and actually Indian clubs and Indian national team forcing clubs to focus more on Indian strikers, because he is the only Indian striker getting proper game minutes. Every other person who is substitute to him is not a proper striker. They play as wingers for their clubs. There is no proper striker, and it is a very, very bad situation. We have exceptional midfielders, we have exceptional attacking midfielders, wingers, everything. No proper strikers. So it will be very interesting how India are going to adapt. Is there going to be a new striker coming up? Because the current striker brand is not enough. I think ISL should make a rule to have an Indian striker. And luckily one team is actually doing very good in that. I'm proud of that team also. It's Mumbai City. They've actually given promise that no matter how much the rules may change, the foreign player quota may increase or something, they will make sure they'll play more than 7 Indian players in their team, and they're going to nurture the Indian talent. If they're going to do that, kudos to them. Please keep supporting Indian football. And to everyone else, I know big superstar has gone, you might think Indian football will go down. Let it be, or whatever it is. If you actually want to support the Indian football, please do watch the game, support. There are good things, and please do not discourage people. If someone wants to take up this thing, no, nothing. If they actually love football, let them play. You never know. It just takes one player. If you look at every small country, there's one player can inspire a whole generation, a whole country. Okay, I can be that done. It happened in every sport for us. We are not a properly developed country to develop everything from the scratch. With that much budget, we won't put in there. So it takes us inspiration from certain individuals. If you look at any sport, if you look at badminton, Okay, you look at badminton, you look at maybe Pullela Gobichand, okay, people like that who won something, okay, so won a major event, okay, I can also do that. And they come back, they learned, they put their effort, they invent academy. Now you see India is good in badminton. You look at hockey, they had a significant performance, they were good. Obviously, in that India's performance. You look at cricket, they won if they would have not won the World Cup, I don't think this would have been the history. It would have been completely different. So each has an individual event. If you look at wrestling, everything India's this thing. If you look at everything separately, there's this thing. Now you look at a recent example. You look at Neeraj Chopra, and I'm going out of topic, but this is yeah. So if you look at Neeraj Chopra in javelin throw, the moment that fellow got like medals, he started getting medals in world championships. He got an Olympic medal. Suddenly you saw if you see the last world championship, there are like 3 Indian javelin throwers in the top 10. So just one guy, they're like, okay, they can look up to, this is the standard. If he can do it, I can do it. So there are a lot of guys looking onto it. So just a matter of time. One talent we can get, and hopefully whatever AIFF is telling about grassroots or Vision 2040, whatever it is, hopefully it works out. And also all credit to the academies, mainly Minerva and Classic Football Academy. Like actually they are investing in young footballers and giving them opportunities, giving them scholarships, and taking care of their education part as well as training them in football. So hopefully these academies can sustain, and hopefully the people that help these academies can keep helping them, and new academies come up. Obviously you're seeing a lot of new startups recently. Kerala Super League is coming up recently, and Gujarat also launched something. So each state is having like proper professionalized league systems. So all these things are good. Hopefully they sustain, they build upon a sustainable model. Moreover, hopefully like not less than 10% of our population get a chance to play proper football. That's all. So coming to the end of the episode, and if you would like we were actually planning to do an episode on the recently released Maidan movie, and I recommend you guys should watch it. We will just do, I mean we are not doing a movie review, we're just focusing on the team that played. And if you would like, just let us know in the comment if you like us anything to discuss specifically. We will be discussing the topic, but anything specific you want us to go through about how India played and how was the condition back then. So we will be doing our research, and we will be presenting as well as within our limits as well as possible. So yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.